Hey guys, welcome back to Inchworm Gardens. Today is Sunday, March 14th, 2021. It is currently 70 degrees Fahrenheit, warm, sunny day here in Tennessee's Zone 7. I'm going to give you the 5-week update of our seedlings inside. We're going to be transplanting our first ones into the garden, and I'll be showing you all the seeds and varieties that'll be starting today. Let's get started. All right, so here's the update on the seedlings first. As you can see, I've moved them outside temporarily. I'm watering them and feeding some of them. I've been doing every other week a water-soluble fertilizer, growing really nice. And as you can see, I always bottom water. Simply just put some water in there. The trays soak up as much water as they want, and then you dump out the rest. So that's a really effective way of watering. So let me just give you the update here. 5 weeks of growth here. We have our parsley, our thyme, our kohlrabi, our, oops, that's the thyme, that's the oregano, parsley, kohlrabi, and our kale back there. And all of these guys are going to be transplanted into the garden. I've been hardening these guys off. I'll talk more about this in another video, but basically when you're starting seeds inside, you can't just move them directly out right into the sunlight because they are not used to those intense UV rays and they will wither and have a hard time or just completely die. So you have to acclimate them into the outdoors slowly. So all week I've been bringing these guys out a little bit each day, getting used to the sun, so now they're fully acclimated and ready to go out. So 5 weeks of growth, those are all going into the garden today. So also, if you remember 5 weeks ago, I started a little experiment, just some greens I've been growing inside. We've been harvesting those for our breakfast and enjoying them. And then I had all these French breakfast radishes. I got a little impatient and just let my son harvest them all and pull them out because I need the space. But you know, we got a couple little radishes, which is nice. So there you go, that's 5 weeks of growth right there on those guys. Now moving up at 4 weeks of growth, we have all of our peppers. As you can see, they're doing really well. They are getting their second set of leaves, so that's why I've just started fertilizing them for the first time. I have that water-soluble fertilizer in there. So those are doing really good. And check this out, this is the lychee tomato. And this guy is really cool. He already has, not sure if you can see him here, but he has little spikes all over his leaves. This is going to grow into be a big, giant, very spiky bush, which is cool. That'll be fun to grow. That's 4 weeks, going really well. At 3 weeks of growth, we have our ground cherries, growing really nice. This is 3 different varieties. Interesting to see how they all are growing at different speeds and heights. This middle one here is the Schoenbrunner Gold. This is the Aunt Molly's. And then this is the strawberry husk, all planted at the same time, but growing at different speeds, which is interesting. And our eggplant, still nothing coming up on this eggplant. I reseeded just, I think last week, like 6 or 7 more seeds, determined to just at least get one to pop up. Nothing's come up yet, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. So that was 3 weeks of growth? All right, so moving at 2 weeks of growth, check this out, tomatoes, doing really good. All of them have come up except one guy. This is the teaspoon currant tomato, has not come up. So again, I put in another like 4 or 5 seeds, hoping to at least get one to germinate. So that's that. The okra, let me show you a better one. There's the tomatoes. This is the salad burnet. This is my gomphrena flower. And check out this okra. 2 weeks of growth on okra, grows very fast. That's the burgundy, the Jing orange, and then these two are heavy hitter. And then this is also a heavy hitter, but I don't know why it grew slower. And then what this one? Oh yeah. So then again, this was the hill country okra. It didn't come up, so I put 2 more in there, and both of those seeds, as you can see, are germinating. So a little tip there: if you're not getting germination, just plant some more seeds, because otherwise you don't want too much time to pass. Otherwise, you're wasting that time of when a seed could be growing. All right, and at 1 week of growth, check this out, the scarlet runner beans. How cool is this? This is those huge pretty beans I showed you last time. Look at this, we got nice little leaves popping up. These beans grow real fast and they're gonna get real big. And then again, at 1 week of growth, this is all stuff we planted last weekend. These are our different daisies, the chocolate daisy and the blue disc daisy. These are our sweet peas. This is a flower, so it's, as you can see, it's very similar to a little pea shoot coming up, but this is just a ornamental flower we're growing. And then our purple coneflower or echinacea, nothing really happening yet, but look, as you can see, one tiny little guy coming there. I should also show you a 1 week update of what we direct sowed last weekend. These peas, we just have a couple small little sprouts, but really nothing happening yet. What do you think of that radish, Wesley?
Too spicy.
So no peas coming up, and I had cilantro over here, and that was chives over there. Nothing coming up yet. I'm not too worried yet, but it's taking its time. We do have some little germination on the radishes, that's good, and nothing on the beets yet. All right, so here's what we're direct sowing into the garden today. We have our tatsoi. This did incredibly well for us last year. A delicious Asian green, grows really well. And we're also trying for the first time this year a Chiji Masai. This is apparently a cross between that tatsoi and a Matsuna. Both are Asian greens, so we're gonna give that a try as well. All right, and what are we starting inside this week? Want to show the basils first?
No.
All right, I'm gonna show you all our different varieties of basils. We're growing 8 different basils this year. First one is the dark purple opal basil. Got that as a free seed last year from Baker Creek. What do we got next?
That one.
This is the holy basil. So this is really great smell, but it has medicinal benefits. Attracts a lot of pollinators. That's a really good one. What else we got? The lettuce leaf basil. So this grows huge, large size basil leaves. Really nice. Tastes like a classic sweet basil.
Here,
Thank you. Then we have the Thai basil, classic, delicious, gets really big, smells like a nice black licorice smell. Really nice one.
Slipped onto my foot.
Oh, okay, that's all right, bud. Now we have our, I'm also growing Mamelo basil. This is another just classic sweet basil. What else we got here, bud? Okay, so this is the first one, first time growing this variety, cardinal basil. So this is grown for its large flowers.
Dad,
Normally,
we're gonna do this one next.
we'll do that one next, okay. Normally
No,
you
this
remove,
one's that.
do that one last, okay. Normally you remove the flowers from the basil to encourage leaf growth. This one is grown for its flowers, so we're gonna grow that as well. Next is a lime basil. It does have a very nice, almost has a, tastes like Fruit Loops or almost like a fruity cereal flavor or aroma. Really interesting, very limey. All right, next is the strawberry blonde calendula flower. This is bee balm, lemon bee balm. It's a nice herb you can use in teas. This is another flower, Salpaglossis grandiflora. Also, I think it's known as bearded tongue.
Yes,
It has a really cool.
that is what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's a nice flower.
Yes.
Another calendula, orange. I saved these from last year. All right, what else we got? Let's see, last two?
Yeah.
All right, last two.
First,
We're growing milkweed. This is the soul food of the monarch butterfly. So this is a really great one to have in your garden. Bring the butterflies.
This.
And the last basil we are growing is a cinnamon basil. This is very similar to the Thai sweet basil. It has a very similar smell and taste. So there you go. That's everything we're starting inside. So let's get these seeds planted and let's get those transplants in the ground. You ready?
Yeah. Let's go, go, go.
All right. All right, so we're direct sowing the tatsoi first. Now I'm actually using seeds that I saved from our plants last year, which is very cool. Definitely recommend saving your own seeds. All right, now one little tip on this. On the back of the seed packet, it actually gives a recommendation of a foot apart for a single plant. That seems kind of ridiculous. The way that I grow them is to sow them real thick and then you harvest them as baby greens. So what I'm gonna do is just get a nice, generous little pile there, and I'm just gonna do it just like this. This whole square.
Can I help?
Yeah, you wanna do some?
Yep.
Here, you pinch some. You drop them just like that. And as you can see, you don't, I'm just scattering them everywhere. You don't have to be exact. And these are gonna come in real thick, and we're just gonna harvest them often, and it's just gonna encourage them to keep growing that way.
Can I do some more?
Yeah, now of course you could grow a single plant and grow it to full size, but this seems way more effective. You get way more plants, and it just works really well. So that's what we're doing for the tatsoi, and we're gonna do the same thing for the Chiji Masai as well. All right, so now we're putting in our first transplant of the year. This is 3 different types of kale. All right, we got our kales planted. Now we're gonna plant our herbs. These are gonna go in this little circle around our strawberry planter. We have our oregano, our thyme, and our parsley is all gonna go in here.
And our mushrooms. Those are wild.
You're right, check it out. We got some wild mushrooms. All right, last thing to transplant is this kohlrabi. So the recommended spacing is 6 inches. So if you have a square foot, you can fit 5 plants in 6 inches because as you see, each hole is only 6 inches apart. So there you go. So we can fit 5 of these plants in that 1 square foot. All right, we got all our transplants in. Now we just gotta get those seeds started indoors. And that's a wrap for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.